I pulled this apart in a previous video, some of which you'll see in this video no doubt. That's an Ozito 2.5 amp hour battery. It was a brand new battery that I pulled apart. Well, today we've got an old 2 amp hour Ozito battery. It is an Einhail battery in most parts of the world, but down under it is known as Ozito and sold just at Bunnings. Now this one is dead, won't charge, nothing happening. I want to see what cells are in it, and then we'll see if we can get it to charge. This battery is using 2650 cells, which is the only battery I've got that's using 2650 cells. Most are, of course, as I'm sure you may be aware, 18650s or 21700s. Now to get into one of these, you need to cut through the center of the label, but that's not really a big deal considering the battery's knackered anyway. It's not like I'm going to be taking it back for warranty purposes or anything. It's pretty old. I don't know if there's a date anywhere on these Ozito batteries. It doesn't look to be any marking on the top, and the label doesn't look to have anything either. But the design has changed a little bit since this battery. Now I'm going to use a Torx 15 to get the screws out. Unfortunately, I can't find my vessel, my little battery vessel screwdriver, which I love so much. So I'm going to use this, which I also love a heap. Hikoki Matabo HBT if you're in North America. I don't know if they actually sell these. I don't think they do. 10.8 volt ones. This is such a cool little impact driver. So light, so useful. Got the right driver bit? I think I do. Yeah. So number 10 Torx, like I said, get these out. But it won't open presumably because of that label, like I said. Yeah, so we just nip through the label, just sort of follow the groove. Don't know if we did. I don't know if that is actually going through the center or anything. Oh yeah, shit balls. Didn't have to cut it, look, comes apart at the bottom. Should have looked at it a bit closer. This one here goes straight through the middle of the label, but this one, you don't have to massacre the label. Comes apart easy. And the rest of it is now sitting on the floor. There's the board if you want to see it. Quite a lot going on for a DIY budget battery. There is plenty of stuff going on. We've also, I can see there's a coating over it to protect it from water ingress. So that's nice. It's a pretty nicely made battery, to be fair, for such a cheap battery. When these are on special, you can get these now at Bunnings in New Zealand for $30 with a charger. Not all the time, they seem to, every now and again they have them for $30 with a charger, which is just ridiculously cheap. Where can you buy any decent battery for $30 New Zealand? Now, to put that into perspective, that's at the moment about 13-14 pounds, something like that, or maybe about 20 US dollars, just, well, no, it'd probably be about 18 US dollars, 17, 18. So cheap as chips for a battery and a charger. And yeah, not a bad looking battery in construction. But what cells is it using? Well, I can see straight away they're grey, and they're 18650, and they're 2 milliamp hour, of course. 5 of them added together comes to 18 volts, 2 amp hour. But not using the 2650s that the 2.5 is now using. It's using good old-fashioned 18650s, and if you whack this number here into Google, you'll know that these are 10 power cells. That's the manufacturer. Not one of the best manufacturers, but certainly not one of the worst. So yeah, not too bad battery pack. But can we jumpstart it and see if there is any life in the old girl? I'll just grab a multimeter and we'll see how many volts are coming out of this thing. If you watch my video pulling apart one of these batteries, you'll see that they were 10 power cells as well, but they're 2600 milliamp cells. These ones are 2000 milliamp. This is actually a 2.6 amp hour battery, but they whacked it down to 2.5 because it just sounds better, I guess. Although on their larger batteries, if you put 2 of these packs together, you'd get 5.2 if they went for 2.6 times 2. And that's what they have done for the larger batteries. They do call them 5.2 amp hour, but for this they only called it 2.5 instead of 2.6. Anyway, multimeter. If we take a look at a healthy battery, this new 2.5, it is reading 20.4 volts. So fully charged. 18 volt batteries, when they are fully charged, show around 20 to 21 volts. That's why they're sometimes called 20 volt max, or companies like DeWalt can get away with calling them 20 volt. Let's now take a look though at this sad one. See if we can get anything to read. I don't know how long this has been sitting as a dead battery. And did we have 1.5 there for a moment? Nothing coming up now. 70 millivolts. We're not a happy battery. So can I jump start it? I guess we're about to find out. I think I might put it back together just for safety reasons, so that if anything goes wrong, I have something to sort of hold on to try and fling it out of the house. Now when I opened this up and this fell on the floor, of course the spring that goes on here for the release button went flying, as did this. I managed to find this. This is the little button that goes over our little battery check button there. But I can't find the damn spring. It has no doubt shot underneath something that's about 5 millimeters high off the ground and about 3 meters away. But seeing as there's a good chance this is not going to work anyway, I won't bother too much with it. If I manage to get it to work, then I'll have a better look for the spring. Right, that should hold it. Now I'm going to use my washer method. Is it going to fit in there? Yep. One washer in the positive and negative terminals of this battery, like so. Get these around the right way. Negative and positive. Sure they don't touch each other. And I'm going to trickle some charge into it with this El Cheapo slow trickle charge battery charger, 12 volt car battery charger. And the theory is, if we can get the voltage of this thing up to say 12 volts, when we put that on the charger, it might actually recognize the battery and start charging it. Hopefully it doesn't go boom. Power on. Okay, so I'll come back to that in like half an hour or something, and we will see how it's gone. In the meantime, if you're following along at home, this is now charged. I've just pulled it off the charger, so we'll carry on making that video. So yeah, I think this thing's pretty cool. Oh, wrong video. The battery has just kicked off the battery charger. So the battery charger has turned itself off 2 or 3 times while this has been charging over the last sort of quarter of an hour. So I'm going to take these off now. And we'll see if we get a reading of this thing now, see if it will automatically kick into my multimeter. So before it didn't have enough voltage to even trigger it. I had to do it manually, and you'll know that it was only showing 70 milliamps. So now, how do I do this without being in shot? 4.8 volts. Dropping pretty quick. So 4.8 volts. Probably not enough. Let's chuck it on the charger and see what happens. First up, I'll just got to open it up to test whether that made any difference to the light showing. Are we going to get a light? Oh, that's not good. 3 red flashing lights. That doesn't sound like it's going to be very good. Yeah, I'm not sure what these old batteries did, but I'm guessing 3 flashing lights means it's not happy. It's pretty hot on the bottom there. Not too bad, but let's just whack a screw back in, grab the charger. Sorry, I run out of plugs, so too many things plugged in around here. The battery is no good. We should get a green and red flashing light. So that and that light there, dung 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 dung, should be flashing, I think. So let's take a look. Red light's charging. Oh, now we've got both of them flashing. Oh, that means broken battery. So still not happy with it. I don't know if it's really worth putting anything more into this. It's probably not worth the risk. But I'll give it a bit more of a charge, see if we can get the voltage up a little bit higher. Don't have high hopes, but we'll give it one more crack, hey? See you in a minute. Another hour has passed, and it's time to check this battery. Ooh, ooh. That, whoa, the bottom of that is very hot. We're all over the place. 5.8. Whew, I don't think it's worth it, eh? Another hour to go up another volt. With the temperature of this thing at the moment, not too happy about that temperature. So the highest temperature it's recording there at the moment is 64.8 8.3 I saw it get up to. So yeah, this end cell, look, we've got fairly cool battery over the rest of it. That battery at the front is taking all the charge by the looks. It's getting absolutely hammered. I think that one can go back to Bunnings, go in their recycle bin that they have at Bunnings for old tool batteries. Go back to whence it came. And they probably like send it to Indonesia and the locals throw it on a bonfire or something. But that's just speculation, of course. But yeah, that is, if that's saying it's 60 degrees on the outside, it's going to be over 100 on the center of that thing. 65. It's getting hotter. Okay, it's going out on the driveway. Thanks for watching, guys. I gotta go. Yoink. Incidentally, I have used this battery charger method, this exact battery charger, to bring back batteries from Milwaukee, Makita and DeWalt. So it does work, but not of the batteries probably been sitting around for, that battery I think has probably been sitting around for 2 to 3 years dead. So trying to bring that back, a bit tricky, and I don't know what happened to it that killed it sort of in the first place. So yeah, it can work, but just be careful. Wow, look at that. You can see where the battery was sitting on the bench. You can see that one cell that got a lot hotter than the others, so it's like 26, 27 degrees just there on the bench. That's weird.